What if a band known for loud, angry music suddenly decided to change everything? That's exactly what Deftones did with their third album, White Pony. In the year 2000, they didn't want to sound like everyone else. They took a big risk. They made something strange, beautiful, and totally new. In the story, you'll find out how the band worked together, how they sometimes argued, what made certain songs so different, and why this album still matters today. Keep watching to discover how White Pony became one of the most important albums in rock music. By the year 2000, Deftones had already made two well-known albums. Their first album was called Adrenaline in 1995. And then they followed that up with Around the Fur in 1997. They were part of the music scene in Sacramento, California, and people called their style the nu metal because it mixed rock and rap, but the band didn't like that label. For their third album, they wanted to try something new and different. Before they even wrote any songs, they decided to name the album White Pony, which is a slang term for you-know-what. Lead singer Chino Moreno said they started making the album with no set ideas, just a clear plan to avoid making another rap metal album. He wanted the music to feel different from the angry, baggy jeans style that was popular at the time. Drummer Abe Cunningham said the album was the band's way of doing their own thing, like running free from what was expected. After two successful albums, the band felt free to take risks and take their music to a place where they really wanted to. The main band members stayed the same, but some of their roles changed. DJ Frank Delgado, who had only helped on earlier albums, became a full-time member. He used turntables and electronic sounds to add these cool effects, like the spooky noise on Change is the House of Flies. Also, singer Chino started playing guitar on this album, along with guitarist Stephen Carpenter. At first, Stephen didn't like that, but Chino said it caused some tension between them. But when they wrote Change together, they saw how great the result was. They started challenging each other and making better songs together. Bass player Chi Chang and drummer Abe Cunningham stayed solid as the band's rhythm section. Chi's deep, rolling bass lines, especially on songs like Korea, helped give the music a heavy sound. Deftones spent more time on White Pony than they did on any album before. After finishing their tour, they spent about 4 months writing songs. Then in August 1999, they went to a famous studio called the Record Plant in Sausalito, California. Even though not all the songs were finished, they liked the idea of writing some parts in the studio. They worked together with producer Terry Date again, who had done their first two albums. The band had a big budget, so they stayed in houseboats and even rented a big house in Hollywood. They had fun, sometimes too much fun. They partied, played video games, and even had Mimosa Mondays. But they still managed to get a lot of work done. Terry Date said that many songs were written right there in the studio. Later, they moved to Los Angeles to mix the album at Larrabee Sound Studios. They stayed in this spooky old house, which they called the Devil House, while they worked around the clock. Chino started recording vocals there, beginning with the song Feitzeria. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And that's a story about being kidnapped. By early 2000, the album was finished. It took 4 months to write and record, and a couple more to mix everything. This album has lots of great songs. Let me talk about a few of them and a few of the guests that were on these. Probably the biggest one was Change in the House of Flies. It was the first single, became their biggest hit. Chino and Stephen wrote it together. It has a slow, creepy feeling and showed a new side of the band and the band's new sound. Even though the record label wanted a heavier song for the first single, the band chose Change because they believed in it. Then we have the song Passenger. The song features Maynard James Keenan from the band Tool. Chino and Maynard wrote the lyrics together by passing a notebook back and forth, and the song is dark and slow. It became a fan favorite, and I remember the first time I heard this because I'm thinking, this band really sounds like Tool, but then I realized later on that it was actually Maynard James Keenan singing on this song, and I found that out later on. Then there's a song, Knife Party. It's an eerie song, features a singer whose name is Rodleen Get Sick. It's a woman who does these like eerie screams during the song. Chino met her in the studio and asked her to sing on the track. She really made this song different. She had these strange, spooky vocals, and it just really gave the song a very haunting feel. There's Digital Bath. This is a dreamy song with clean guitars and these shiny drum sounds. Lyrics tell a strange story about love and electricity. It's a song that mixes beauty and darkness. And finally, there's a song called Elite, which is one of the loudest and heaviest songs on the album. It's fast, it's intense. And it actually won a Grammy for the Best Metal Performance in 2001. I tried to find a clip, but apparently they weren't at the Grammys, so I'll just show like a little quick clip when they were on the red carpet for another Grammy edition, which was many years later.
In 2000, and I wasn't there.
Okay.
So this is my first time. So.
All right. Well, so then, yeah, that's super exciting, huh?
And there were a few other songs that are worth noting. We have Korea, which has some heavy bass and cool effects. There was Pink Maggot, which was later changed to a rap rock song called Back to School. Because that's what the record label wanted. And we also have the song Teenager, and that kind of adds mood and atmosphere to the album. With White Pony, Deftones tried a lot of new sounds. They didn't want to be just another new metal band. They mixed metal styles with other styles like shoegaze, trip hop, and alternative rock. Chino sang in different ways, sometimes soft and melodic, other times loud and emotional. The drums and bass had groovy rhythms inspired by bands like The Police. DJ Frank Delgado used turntables in creative ways, sometimes making them sound like keyboards. Chino said they didn't have rules, they just followed their feelings. They were inspired by many types of music, from hardcore rock to dreamy pop to electronic beats. The album had soft moments and loud moments, creating a journey with ups and downs. The band blended all their favorite sounds into one unique style. White Pony came out on June 20th, 2000, which was Chino's 27th birthday, also celebrating an anniversary, 25 years. That night, the band played Change on the David Letterman show. The album was a hit right away, reaching number 3 on the US charts and selling over 500,000 copies in just a few months. Eventually, it sold more than 3 million copies around the world. At first, not everyone loved it. Some fans thought the band had gone too soft, especially since other heavy bands like Limp Bizkit,
It's just one of those days.
and it was Linkin Park.
End of the day, the clock takes life away.
They were all popular then. Even the record label wanted more rap rock, so they pushed the band to add a new version of Pink Maggot called Back to School. The band didn't really like it, but they just did it anyway. Still, many critics praised the album's creativity. Rolling Stone and Kerrang! Said it was something special. Over time, more people came to love it, and today, many fans and critics think it's Deftones' best album. And I agree. I would say this is my favorite album by them. Chino says he's really proud of it, and Abe calls it a key moment for the band. The album often shows up on best of lists and has inspired many other bands. In the end, White Pony proved that Deftones were brave enough to make music they believed in, mixing hard and soft, loud and quiet in their own special way. That's the story of the Deftones' White Pony, an album that took big risks, broke the rules, and helped redefine what metal sounds like. From eerie soundscapes to emotional vocals, it proved that metal could be both loud and beautiful. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss any future videos. And let me know if you have any favorite tracks from White Pony or any memories tied to this album. Leave me a comment below. Love to hear your thoughts, and thanks for watching. Until next time, keep listening loud and keep exploring the music that moves you.